Hey everybody, this is Dr. George James, another On the Couch with Dr. J. This past weekend, another Red Table conversation came out, and it's kind of taken up the whole weekend. Lots of people have been talking about it because Jada decided to bring herself to the table. And it was this open, intimate conversation between Jada and Will Smith and their marriage and the journey that they've been through and probably going through currently. And as a therapist who works with so many couples and so many different aspects of relationships, I had a few thoughts I wanted to share that I saw from that. So I'm just going to share maybe 3 or 4 quick thoughts that I thought about as I was watching that. And yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about Jada and Will, but I'm really just going to talk about all of us that aspire to be in a serious relationship, all of us that are in a serious relationship, and what it really takes. The first thing I want to say is that every serious relationship at some point will have at least one time that you think about giving up. At least one, if not multiple times. There is no relationship, including my own, that has not gone through some test, some trial, some struggle, some difficulty, or just some bad moments where you're like, I don't know if I have it in me anymore. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't know if I like you anymore. I don't know if I can do this anymore. And where you really think about what would it be like to end the relationship, to quit, to move on and do something else. You might even get as far as trying to think about, what if you moved out? What if you were with somebody else? What if you broke up or got divorced? What if we just didn't mess with each other anymore or talk with each other anymore? I'm saying this because it's real. That real relationships, serious relationships, you think about the future and you fantasize about all the good things. But you also have moments that are tough, that are overwhelming, that you start to feel like you don't want to do it anymore. And there's a lot of things that can build up to that moment. It could be frustrations, it could be lack of communication, it could be not being on the same page for lots of things, whether it be about money or intimacy or sex or just how you treat each other. Or you could be overwhelmed with all the other things in your life and it's just taking a toll on your relationship. And it's important that you just pay attention to all the things that are making it really challenging for you to be in the relationship. And what are you doing about it? What are you doing to release the stress or the struggle or the difficulty that has come in to attack your relationship? Because it is really hard to be in a relationship and stay in the relationship, because you have to go through some difficult conversations. You have to talk about some things that you might not want to talk about. You have to look at yourself, reflect, open up, be vulnerable, be humble, be open to change to make the relationship work. And that's one of the things I saw with the Will and Jada conversation, that they have been through that, maybe even still going through it. And listening to them, the conversation felt like it was in the past, but it also felt like it was actually still some stuff now. I'm not their therapist. I don't know what they've been through, so I can't say. But all I know is that in working with people, working through difficulties and pain takes time. Leads me to the second thing. Jada used a word called entanglement, which a lot of people have been talking about. And at the end of the day, to me, it just sounded like it was a boundary crossing. And even though that they were done with each other, separated, uh, maybe not fully, not to the place of divorce yet, but maybe thinking about it, that this was maybe across the lines. Maybe it happened, but it doesn't mean that it didn't hurt and it didn't cause pain. And there's a lot of reasons why people will step outside. And that's a whole nother conversation. Why do people cheat? Why do people go and do those things? But what I've seen from my work is that usually there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of, I want things to be better. Jada even said that she was just not feeling happy for a long time. And sometimes it's either people don't feel like they can talk that out with their partner, or they've tried and they don't feel heard, And what we tend to do is that we think like this next thing is going to make it better, but it often complicates things. And then on the other side, Will goes like, I'm going to get you back. Revenge, I have not seen it work. I have not seen somebody, well, you cheated on me, I'm going to cheat on you, or you got yours, I'm going to get mine. I've just not really seen that work and make things better. What I have seen work is that a willingness to be honest, to talk about what you did, to say you're sorry to your partner, and to recognize that they're going to be hurt, they're going to be angry, they're going to go through lots of different emotions. And you have to acknowledge that your actions really caused that. And then the both of you would have to get into some deeper things to talk about, how did we get here? What was going on with us that it was enough room for somebody else to get in the relationship, that you could be that at that place where you would choose to do something to be with someone. And with Will and Jada, they were honest that they were at a place where they were just done with each other, not talking to each other. And so obviously that meant there was a lot going on. Last thing I'll say is that it also sounds like they've been through some therapy. And I'm really happy to hear that because a lot of people will say if you have to go to therapy, that means the relationship is already over. No, we all need support and help at some point. Because once again, you're going to get to a place where you think it's over, or you don't want to do it again, or do it anymore. We all need support and help, and that's what therapy is. And what I've seen with couples is that sometimes going through the process of going to therapy can actually help you to have a greater, better relationship than you ever had. And now it doesn't start off that way. It's usually uncomfortable. It's usually deep. It's usually challenging. There's a lot of anger, hurt, pain. But as you go through that, you start to realize, wow, we've talked about things that we've never talked about. We've worked through things that we've never worked through before. I feel closer to you than ever before. And some of that I kind of hear in their ability, Will and Jada's ability to joke and to laugh, that maybe this is a closeness that they haven't had ever or in a long time. The last thing I'm just going to say is that something they say in the end, right, that this is not for the weak at heart, and that you got to go through some stuff. I wish that you all don't, as well as in my own life, that we never have to go through anything like that. That difficulties can come in other ways, whether it's through cheating, or whether it's through family struggles, or whether it's through financial stuff, or whether through life journey. Like, it can bring difficulties through your relationship. But what I've found is that the relationships that are able to survive, they're able to get to this place of a deep love for their partner, that despite the obstacles, I will find a way to love you. I will be hurt. I'll be open. I'll be vulnerable, but I will love you. And my encouragement to all the couples out there, as you listen to Will and Jada, as it maybe brings up stuff for you in your relationship, go to therapy, get some help, and push yourself to say, can I love your partner? Can I love you in this deeper way? That Will and Jada didn't even know if they really had that in the beginning, but 25 years later, they're still moving forward. And so even though it's hard, it's difficult, and we all have our opinions about what's going on now and maybe what happened in the past, what we can say is they were willing to at least share a part of it and push forward and talk about their journey. And I hope that you will not just deal with it on your own, but that you'll get help or support or talk about it and find that deep love for your partner. It's Dr. George James on the couch, Dr. J.